in light of Borderlands currently coming out, it'll be released by the time this episode airs, but it's currently sitting on a 3%. And so a 3% could change, and this is for Rotten Tomatoes. So Rotten Tomatoes is a
aggregate.
It encapsulates every like major reviewer's score. So Borderlands is currently at a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not great. Apparently, it's really fucking bad.
That's surprising
really
to me.
bad. Well,
maybe not. Who'd you say the director is?
So it was directed by Eli Roth, and we were talking about how good Hostel is.
I like Hostel for what it is.
I loved Hostel, man. For what it was a fun, over-the-top horror movie. But have you gone back and watched it since it...
Oh, Hostel?
How many times have you watched it? Maybe twice? Once or twice?
Maybe twice. If it came on Nickelodeon or something late at night.
Wait. Just Cartoon Network?
The Toonami After Dark? No,
So,
only probably once or twice.
I feel like I saw it... I actually had the DVD of it. I definitely didn't see it in theaters. I don't even know if it went to theaters, if it was like straight to... Or like the first one probably was released to theaters, and then the other 800 were just released to DVD and Blu-ray.
Is Hostel gore porn? Is that what they go for?
I think Hostel and is it's a little bit different than Saw. I feel like in Hostel they were like, okay, you would get sold to, I think it was in I can't remember. Not Bratislava,
Yugoslavia.
But yes, and so like in Saw, you would get put in this game, and it was because of something terrible you did in your life. In Hostel, you were just at the wrong place, the wrong fucking time, and you just the outcome was death always.
Well, that's scarier.
That is scarier.
I mean, I guess they're both scary.
Yeah. So okay, 3%, not great. So right now, Borderlands is at a 3%. What are some of the biggest movie flops on Rotten Tomatoes?
Well, I don't know about Rotten Tomatoes, but I do know,
or in general,
the movie that I remember being just like this huge letdown was that movie Zack Snyder. It looked not noir. With all the Sucker Punch is what it was called.
Sucker Punch, yeah.
I remember there being that was such a disappointing movie with all the hype that was built up. Because Zack Snyder, I guess he either hits or misses, right?
I think Zack Snyder honestly misses more than he hits. I do. But I loved 300. I fucking loved Watchmen.
You don't even have any Watchmen tattoos, so how can you say you really...
But I hated Man of Steel. I hated Batman vs. Superman. The
what about
first
that
cut of the Justice
movie?
League. Dude, and then, like, I understand shit happened during the filming of Justice League, and he left, and someone else stepped in, but I didn't even really like the Snyder cut, man. Like, it was too long. But do you have a list of movies that you think have... like, oh, this looks really good, and then it came out and it just was horrible.
You ready?
Yep.
And I feel like this guy is the same. Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill. This movie was so... I mean, Adam Sandler movies are just, I think, genuinely... I mean, some of them are so...
over the top
that they're funny.
Yeah,
this one was just bad. Jack and Jill,
and I think Jack and Jill is notoriously considered one of the worst movies of. I think it's considered one of the worst movies of all time. I think that also, like, That's My Boy and I loved That's My Boy. I think is so funny, but I think that's considered and I think what makes a movie like. Considered terrible, like, reviews, yes, but how it performs in the box office, I think, is like the ultimate, because a lot of comedies do horribly, but they make millions and millions, if not billions of dollars. But I just don't think anyone went and saw Jack and Jill or Sucker Punch or That's My Boy. Borderlands, I don't think apparently there are plenty of tickets available to see that. the Fantastic Four, the newer one, not the newest one coming out, but the newer one, apparently also was terrible.
Well, I'll tell you, I just looked it up. Jack and Jill has a 3 also in Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
And then Adam Sandler relative, Nick Swartzen, he's got a movie called Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star. Do you remember that movie?
I do.
Also sitting on a 3.
Do you have a list of the worst Adam Sandler movies? Is that what you're looking at right now?
Ooh.
Like the best to worst?
And you know what? I'll give it to Adam Sandler. Bucky Larson, I don't think Adam Sandler was attached to that at all.
I think probably just Happy Madison Productions.
Oh, sure. That one might be.
I think that they probably
worst Happy Madison movies.
I'll tell you what I think the best Adam Sandler movie is, and you can tell me if I'm correct.
Okay, because there is a right and wrong answer here.
So when you pull that list up, I have them in my mind what I think are good and what I think are just hot, like steaming piles of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be wrong. Do you have the list?
I do have the list.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what I think is the best one.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Uncut Gems.
Okay. This list is weird. It's giving me...
Is it like one bad, one good?
It is giving one bad, one good. So it says best funny people, worst Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star. So that one was indeed a Happy Madison. Best Reign Over Me, which I've never heard of that. Worst The Ridiculous Six, which is they
isn't
gave
the
a
Ridiculous
0
Six? Yeah, sitting on a fucking 0.
Best 51st Dates. Worst Father of the Year.
You know what? I think Jenna was watching Father of the Year on Netflix.
Oh my god! Another worst that I remember this movie, and the little picture that I have of like the clip is hold on, tell me if you know this movie where the guy goes turtle turtle turtle. Do you remember that movie?
Wait, The Master of Disguise?
Yes.
Was that
That's exactly what it is. I guess that was a Happy Madison. Yeah.
Wow, and that was
Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey, also Garth from Wayne's World. So that
you know what? In this list, Uncut Gems is not in this list. It must be an old list because I heard that movie was really good.
So okay, what are your top 5 Adam Sandler movies? Let's do that because Adam Sandler gets a lot of hate, but he's also such an icon, right?
Oh yeah.
So top 5 Adam Sandler movies, doesn't matter if they are shit, like they have a shitty score or not.
Okay,
what do you
got
say?
it. This is an easy list for me.
Yep.
And this is not in order. I don't have a favorite one, and I'll say
Sure.
Happy Madison.
Okay.
And I'd probably give my number 1 spot if I had to Grandma's Boy. I love Grandma's Boy. I've said that on the show before.
Okay.
The Water Boy, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and I'm gonna say Don't Mess with the Zohan. Don't Mess with the Zohan is one of those such a stupid movie, but it's funny. Like that's my what's that one? Little Nicky also gets gets a shout out in there.
Yeah, it gets a what is that? The honorable mention or whatever. But I'll tell you what, Click was depressing as fuck. Like that movie's just sad.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say a bad movie though.
I don't think it was bad. But it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I just Big Daddy.
Oh yeah,
I think that's one of my favorite.
That's a good one.
I never really got into Mr. Deeds, but I think if I had to pick my favorite Adam Sandler movie, and I never saw Uncut Gems, I think that's what it's called. But I think that Big Daddy is my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he's also done so many. Like, he's a very versed individual. He's kind of like Nicolas Cage, where Nicolas Cage, I feel like, will take any movie role. I think Adam Sandler's more selective in what he does.
Didn't Adam Sandler sign how many $1 million contract with Netflix?
$500 million with Netflix.
Netflix is good for that.
But you know what? You got to give it to my man Nicolas Cage. He's been apparently putting out some fucking fire. I guess that movie Spider Legs just came out, and I don't know if he's a serial killer or what, but apparently that's fire.
Is it Spider Legs or Daddy? Is it called Spider Legs?
I don't know. I think so.
You know my daddy long legs joke. God was naming the animals, and then and I guess his assistant was kind of naming names off, and he said, "What if we call them long legs?" And God said, "No, not kinky enough.
Not kinky enough." All right, Daddy long legs. But this conversation actually stemmed. We were at a buffet somewhere we haven't, at least I haven't been in years.
It's since before the pandemic, so it's been at least 5 years since I've been to a buffet.
And the fact that buffets are still around, I thought going in, I was like super hesitant, right? It was like, all right, we're going into this place where there's just a bunch of food sitting out for, we went right when it opened.
And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. There was a sheen. Everything was clean.
It was fresh.
The Jello was firm.
But the Jello was. I had a lot of mousse.
You did. You got a cup and you said
mousse.
You went back up and got three more mousse shots.
3 more mousse shots. I got you one. Mm-hmm. But you go to a buffet. Mm-hmm. What's your strategy going in? Do you have something in mind? So you're sampling everything, you're piling your plate super high, you're doing like appetizers, entrees, desserts.
I'll tell you what I do. I'm on a 4-plate plan. All right. My first plate, I'm getting as many things as possible. I want to see what they do best. So, obviously, I'm going for the things that I do like. I'm not going to try. I might try 1 or maybe 2, and it's got to be a bite. Because if I don't like it, I don't want to like leave a half full plate there of that item, right? So that's my first plate. Second plate, anything that I missed, I'll grab a couple more of those. But then I'll get a bunch of the stuff. Like half the plate is dedicated for the things that I missed, or that I really liked. That's half my plate. Again, getting those things.
So is the 4-plate plan always what you have in mind? Like you're going in and that's the expectation. Mm-hmm. If I don't get there, fine. But that's
exactly.
That's
my third plate then is usually filler, get me full. And then my 4th plate is dessert, which, because you're at a buffet, you should be a little gluttonous and hate yourself when you leave.
And that's what you're paying for. And this buffet was super cheap. I think it was like $13.
Yeah.
And so we went in. And I did something that I have never done before. Have you ever had buffet sushi? Because this was my first time, and it was delicious. It was so good.
It was not bad. That might have also been my first time having buffet sushi, and it was suspect, but it was good.
How many people do you think go to buffets and they get the sushi? Like that's what they kind of market themselves at. But
I'm curious.
They had a shit ton of it out.
Yeah.
Like and there were multiple rolls, and it was nice and cold. It was iced. I'm glad they're following, food safety guidelines. But when I go to a buffet, my goal is to assess first. So I'm not on like a 4-plate plan per se, but it's more like, all right, I'm gonna do the appetizers first, and then I do entree kind of by ethnicity. So I'll do like the Asian. I think they had some like American-esque food.
You did get a whole ass American plate. You had
I did.
Chicken
it was an
tendies
onion
and French
rings,
fries.
Maybe a slice of fucking like mass-produced pizza.
Yeah.
But they also had normally when you would go to a buffet like the Old Country Buffet, they would have the carving station. They didn't have that. They just kind of had the meat there, and you could just carve it yourself.
Yeah.
There was just the little like fucking knife and the little like carving fork.
Hey, they trust you.
But also, like, that meat is always dry as shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sitting kind of under that heating lamp. It's not great. But that experience, they also had, they weren't running them, but they had the automatic serving robots.
Oh, I'm interested to see that. I've never been to a restaurant that had those. So what, they put your plates on it in the kitchen and they punch in your table number, I guess, and then it just drives itself over to you?
Did you look at the base? It almost looked like it was standing on a Roomba. Like they were on like Roomba bases, essentially. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've kind of adapted that technology from iRobot. It works and you can control the zone. And then each robot is probably assigned a zone and a table or something. Like I didn't see, there's probably sensors under the tables that we just didn't notice.
Do you not think that there's somebody just in the back?
Just controlling it? No. So at Disney World, they have I think it's Be My Guest, and the carts know where you're located, and so like I think it gets close to you, and I don't know if it rumbles or what.
I've got two things for this.
Yep.
One, I have to assume that the technology comes from, and I don't know if Amazon's the one that did this first, but in Amazon warehouses, they have whole entire warehouse floors that have like it's a virtual warehouse, little Roomba things, just like you're talking about, big tower like of cases on it. All four sides have stuff on it, and the room, like when someone needs to pack that item, the Roomba drives itself over to the person's area, waits in line with the other little Roomba things, and then the Amazon picker grabs the item out of the box, puts it in there, and then the Roomba goes back to somewhere in the warehouse. It's like a virtual warehouse with moving shelves. And they operate, it's usually off of like QR codes on the floor that they read and scan so it knows where they're at.
I mean, that makes sense. You think about how Amazon operates. Besides them running people into the fucking ground, like actual humans, I ordered something today at 2:30. It's now 4:52. It's on its way for delivery today.
Probably you couldn't be there because at 2:30 you were probably at the dentist.
At the dentist. But that's wild to me. Like,
oh yeah.
Think about, 10, 15 years ago, that wasn't a thing. Like you would get Amazon was a thing, but like the 2-day delivery, or I'm sorry, the 3-4 hour delivery.
Yeah.
Wasn't fucking what?
Do you remember watching infomercials back in the day? And what was it? Call now, and you could pay with a credit card over the phone, but then it was $9.99 for shipping and handling, and then you'll get it in 10
to 14 business days, and
then
they would always say, but buy it now, and you'll get an additional one. Just pay additional
shipping
processing.
And handling.
They would always say, processing, shipping, and handling. So you would then pay. Okay, I'm buying some shitty. You remember they were like, those like balloons that you would blow up, but they wouldn't pop. Do you remember those? And it was like almost like this like tube, and it was like this like, I don't know if it was like a silicone material, but it would make a balloon, and the marketing was you couldn't pop it.
Okay.
What's your favorite infomercial? Do you have one that's like stuck in your brain, or like like a distinct commercial? For me, you ready for this?
Yeah.
The commercials that would air at like 3 a.m. They were like it was like a CD or a cassette of like top 20 love hits of today.
Yes.
And it would just play the fucking like clips of the different songs.
The music, the songs would. So that was one of my. I had two on deck because that was going to be my one. So I have another one. But the songs, the song lists, they would list every single song. But the one that was highlighted, the one that was highlighted was the one that you were listening to right now during this infomercial.
It would be highlighted in yellow. Okay, so what's yours?
I think we would be shit covered dicks if we didn't name fucking ShamWow.
Oh, the ShamWow guy.
What was his name? Was it Lance? Vance.
I think it was Vance.
And he had the little
I don't know.
The little skinny mic thing that came from here.
Yeah.
And he was it drugs? Did he get in trouble for drugs?
Yeah, so Vince Offer.
Vince Offer. What a name for selling stuff on TV.
And he got in 2009, he was arrested for a physical altercation with a sex worker.
Oh, okay. Not drugs.
That's a fucking Vince Offer, man. What the fuck?
And then another honorable mention here. Billy Mays here.
Billy Mays.
R.I.P.
I think we would.
R.I.P.
Yeah, we would be. Would you know what fucking, what was it? Wasn't he always selling OxyClean was without Billy Mays? I wouldn't.
Nope.
And then when he died, I think he had like cocaine in his system, and everyone was like, well, no shit. How else was he so peppy? Like that doesn't.
Wait,
that tracks.
Maybe I had Billy Mays and Lance, whatever his name was.
Did you have Vince Offer in your Billy Mays?
I did. I think that.
Yeah.
I got him mixed up.
I didn't. Someone took over for Billy Mays when he died. I think it was like an Australian guy. Well, what was the other one? Do you remember? You're gonna love my nuts. The fucking slap chop.
Yeah, I think that was also. I thought that was also the
was that
ShamWow
also
guy.
Vince Offer?
I think so.
There's no way that was his fucking name.
Well, then who did Flex Seal? I'm gonna look up who did Flex Seal.
Yeah, look up who did Flex Seal.
Oh, you're the Flex Seal guy.
I mean, but infomercials made up a lot of I don't want to say our childhood, but they did, because TV typically ended at what, like 10 and then 11.
Oh, yeah.
Infomercials. And then you would wake up. We had to get up for school at what? Fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. You turn on Nickelodeon. You get the fucking ShamWow.
Mm-hmm.
Or it would be like the looped, here's a ninja convection oven or whatever,
Oh,
you
God.
know?
The 1 hour long infomercial, like things, and here's a testimonial. Here's a quick clip that our guys put together. Here's another testimonial.
And then it would loop, and then it would end, and then it would air again. So you'd watch the whole thing, and
That'd
then it
be
would
the
fucking.
worst.
Did you find the
Flex Seal was their inventor and CEO Phil Swift. So
okay.
I was wrong about that.
I never actually had any of those, but Jenna had a ShamWow. There's just a ShamWow sitting in her basement.
Sure.
When we started dating. OxyClean though works. At least it did work pretty damn well. Like, we used to use OxyClean because Billy Mays sold it.
Yeah.
And
I trusted Billy Mays.
Well, I used to get him mixed up with the dude from fucking Home Improvement. Al?
Alan?
Not
Al?
Alan. Wait, yes. Not the neighbor. Who was the neighbor?
No, not the neighbor.
Yeah.
But he was the guy that was also on Tim.
He was
Tim
his
Taylor's
like co-host or whatever.
Yep.
I used to always think they were the same
I could
person
see that.
because I was
could see
stupid.
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But infomercials actually are still a thing. You can still catch them. You turn on. I don't have
3 o'clock in the
cable
morning
anymore, but if you turn on cable TV, infomercials are there.
Can I talk about? You said, I mean, you don't have cable.
Yep.
We have it, but we never watch it. The kids are always just on Netflix or YouTube or whatever they're watching. They know what. How about this? When they're watching YouTube, what do you get in between, like your episode or like whatever you're watching? Ads. Right. They didn't know what a commercial was at all.
Oh,
right?
desensitized to yeah.
Because it's always just ads, and so I had to like tell them. They were like, "Can you just skip this one?" We were watching cable one day, and I was like, "No, that's a pretty new thing that you can skip the ads, unless you know what I fucking loved back in the day. We had DirecTV. With DirecTV came TiVo." So, which was also a big plot point in Tropic Thunder.
Sure. I got the TiVo. Fucking Matthew McConaughey.
But we, so then I could actually just go forward 15 seconds, just boop, 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 boop.
But you couldn't do that until the episode aired, right?
Sure, right. So I'm just a couple days behind or a day behind, and yeah, you couldn't do it while you're watching it live.
Because
correct?
the whole like TiVo DVR, like that changed everything. Because before it was always I'm gonna tape it, and you would literally put a fucking. Do you remember putting in? So I used to take the VHS tape, put it into the VCR, and record whatever I wanted to watch. And I went through this thing where I said I'm gonna record every episode of SpongeBob. I don't know why I tried to do that, but I did. Okay. And then like I used to record music videos. Like, I really like this. Linkin Park, in the end, I didn't have Hybrid Theory yet, so I recorded the music video just so I could fucking watch it over and over again. But then DVR became a thing, and you could record everything. And yeah, you could skip commercials. But it's hard because if you skip the ad, like now streaming services are so fucked because there are multiple tiers where it's like, well, you can pay for the ad-free tier, but it's like $10 more a month. HBO now, dude, Amazon runs ads during their shit now. Like, and I get it. Like, people have to get paid, yeah, but it's so annoying when Hulu is really bad. Yeah. It was like every 2 seconds a fucking an ad, and they were like 2, 3, 4 minutes long. We were trying to watch The Bear. And every like something would happen, boom. It reminded me of watching AMC, like when The Walking Dead first premiered. Oh my God, that was, and every AMC time something was about to happen, commercial.
Yeah, that's some formulated cliffhanger after every 15 minutes.
Yep. And then people are just getting paid. But you know what? I just finished watching season 3 of The Bear. and season 2 of Hot D.
Mm.
And it really got me thinking about like how people hate shows endings. Like, this show had the best ending, this show had the worst ending. What do you
Please,
think?
no spoiler alerts on Hot Day. I fell asleep.
No spoil. So all of these will be spoiler free.
That's fair. That's fair.
What show has had the best and worst ending, do you think?
I'll say worst ending that I know, that I watched, that just, I don't want to say broke my heart, but it killed me. Dexter,
Sure.
the final like season, maybe the last 2 seasons, kind of like Game of Thrones, was just bad.
So would you just say bad? Like, across the board, it just wasn't a good...
Yes.
It just...
that was my least
bad.
favorite. Mm-hmm. What about you? Worst.
So, you said... So, worst? Worst for me, I think, Game of Thrones. I think Game of Thrones was the most disappointing thing that we've been watching this show for, what, 10 years almost? And then they were like, how can we make it suck ass? Right.
Was the battle scene just in the dark? The whole episode was just in the dark.
Good thing we waited, 8 years for this epic fight, and then nobody could fucking see it.
Winter's finally here.
Dude, they were building up the White Walkers since like episode 1. Winter was coming the whole show, and then it came in an episode.
That's usually how I come in one episode.
It takes about an episode. My favorite ending, I still think to this day, you know what? Honorable mention for worst endings, The Office. And you know how much I love The Office, but holy fuck, that ending was bad.
I never watched The Office.
You know what? They tried to wrap it up, which is great. And The Office was obviously shot like a documentary. Like, that was the whole point of the show, right? And so the documentary airs and yada, yada, yada. I just didn't like the route that they went with a lot of the characters. It just seemed like there was so much more and so much that was left to be desired. My favorite ending, though, Better Call Saul. I think it ended perfectly.
I can get down with that. I love that. I love that TV show. That show. So for the longest time, and we've had this discussion about shows before too. Breaking Bad was, I would always say, pound for pound, the best TV show. But then Better Call Saul came around, and it was somehow better,
and longer. So not only was it a prequel, but it had, I think, one more season than Breaking Bad had, which is wild because it was about just a character in Breaking Bad, but they did such a good job of developing everybody. And I still think to this day, like, Jimmy McGill, man, Bob Odenkirk he's such a good actor. But same with the dude that plays Jonathan Banks, that plays Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah.
Also, like, it just, you really like all the characters, and then like what Jimmy McGill becomes, but like seeing him get there, that's what I like to see out of a show. Just care. That's why I really liked Boardwalk Empire. Boardwalk Empire did a really good job of developing the characters. Like, you knew they were all bad in the sense that, like, they did shit that was bad. But that's why I really liked it. What was your best, or what was your favorite? You really
ending?
Liked the way that a show wrapped up. That's harder than worst.
Yeah, because I think it's tough to wrap up TV shows, especially like a long TV show, because. You know what? Well, instead of saying my favorite, I'm going to give another bad one because I just thought of this.
Sure.
Lost.
Oh, God. I didn't actually watch Lost, but I heard the ending was so disappointing.
I'm going to give a spoiler for this because it's been fucking 20...
Spoiler alert.
Maybe not 20, almost 15 years probably.
Yeah.
They weren't really on the island. They were in, like, purgatory. Like, they were,
so they were all dead.
They were pretty much all dead anyway. And they were just this was them finding themselves in the afterlife.
So what was the black...
The smoke monster?
Yes, yeah.
Do
they talk about that?
So here's the thing. J.J. Abrams, I think if you're nerdy, you kind of have to give J.J. Abrams, some credit. He did Star Trek. Then he did
Star Trek?
The first Star Wars. And he did a couple Star Wars movies, whether he was good or bad for those.
Sure.
You can argue that.
If you liked them or not,
But he was one of the 2 showrunners for Lost, and they were really good for introducing new, oh my God, here's this new thing like a smoke monster, or how a paralyzed guy can now walk, or how this guy won the lottery, but nobody knows. But then they would answer some of those things, but leave some really big things left unanswered. And then to have all those moving parts at the end of a show that they said, all right, what do we still have to tie together? And you have to imagine it's just like 8-9 writers sitting in a room, throwing a ball against a wall, just thinking,
saying what sticks.
Yeah. It's got to be tough.
Was Lost ABC?
Yes.
So also fucking Disney.
But
that was at a time, and I really miss this, when a show would air 9 p.m. Sunday or whatever, and you would have to tune in to watch it. Now, a show drops at 9 p.m., but, like, you could just skip to the end if you want. Like, the show is just out. There's no... I don't even know, like, if I wanted to watch, say, House of the Dragon right now, can I only watch it on Max? Like, is HBO, is it still a channel that I could tune into to watch? I don't fucking know.
Me neither.
Can you still watch these shows on...
I bet you can, but it's just showing like there's one thing on right now.
But some say like HBO Max. Do you remember there used to be, and I don't know if there still are, multiple HBOs. There was like HBO Comedy, HBO Family, HBO 2, like HBO fucking Latino. Mm-hmm. They had like a whole bunch of different HBOs, and now I don't even fucking know. Like HBO Max. Oh, I'm sorry, Max.
Just Max.
It's just fucking Max.
What's this HBO you speak of?
Yeah, what is
Home Box Office is what it stood for back in the day. So what does Max stand for? Wait, I always thought that the combination, I thought that HBO bought Cinemax or Skinemax, and then they were just like, now Kith. And then they got brought together on HBO Max. I thought that's what that was.
But I know that, so we used to get HBO years ago. I mean, I was young as fuck.
Oh, did you ever try to get on it late at night and watch like Taxi Cab Confessionals?
Taxi Cab, Real Sex. And it was always just like a bunch of like really old people just like fucking having orgies. Yeah. And that was my shit. That was all I got.
I mean,
like,
sure. It was something to rub your dick to.
But you also wouldn't get caught, right? So it wasn't like looking at porn, because you could just turn your TV off. Turning a computer off is a process. You know, like you have to hold a button down, and there's history. Mm-hmm. TV, you can just flip a few channels, and that history has been deleted.
Wait. Did I tell you about the time I got busted when I was like 6 or 7 years old?
Looking at porn?
So listen. There was this party, this barbecue at my house, and I guess someone was paying for like the Spice Channel, Channel 99.
Channel 99? Yup.
It was not blurry at all.
Because normally it was.
Yup, but we were paying for it. And I was inside by myself for some reason. Everybody else was outside barbecue.
Okay.
So I had it on, and somebody yelled in. I heard somebody coming, so I just turned the TV off, and then I ran outside. Everybody comes in, and they're like, "Hey, you ready? Let's watch the Phillies game." I don't know what they were watching. I wasn't in there. All I hear, what is this? They just turned the TV back on, and because I didn't change the fucking channel, because I'm a 6 or 7 year old, they turned the TV on, and they all looked over at me like, this motherfucker.
Like, what is this channel?
I've never seen this in my life.
But can you really get number one? Who was paying for the Spice Channel?
It was probably expensive.
And how much was it?
I have no idea.
It probably was, especially for like the 90s, dude.
Yep.
Like the early mid 90s.
Because that was probably the best way to get porn, right? Like at your fingertips. Imagine that level of accessibility.
But too, so you would get your cable bill, and what you would have to. Hello, this is Greg. I would like one Spice Channel, please. Like you would have to pay and talk to somebody on the phone.
Yeah.
There was no online, probably.
They go, "Oh, you dirty pervert."
And I wonder how much that was, like what the cost was at that time.
Probably $69.
It would have been disappointing if it wasn't. But I feel like we never had the add-ons. We got HBO much later on, and I think it was for Curb. I really think it was for maybe The Sopranos, but I think Curb was also a big part of that.
Can I go back 40 minutes from when we were talking about those stupid fucking robots?
Oh yeah. The Roomba servers.
where I thought that what if somebody was, okay, listen, you're gonna get this.
Okay.
You're coming up to an intersection.
Yep.
You stop. You're at a red light.
Okay.
You know your turn's coming. You're gonna go straight.
Yep.
Right. Even the light to the left of you, they're turning left. Their light goes green.
Okay.
Ambulance comes across, goes.
So
They cross
it's coming.
across.
Okay.
Yep. But they get the green light, right? You know how they can change the light?
Yeah.
How does that work? Can you tell me? Because I think I have an idea. I've been told I'm wrong, and I feel like such a fucking idiot. I need to share this. How does that work when they...
Okay, so here's what I think, and this is speculation. I think I was told this once. I thought they have something in... So, okay, I have two theories. One, they have something actually inside their vehicle that allows them to change the light based off of location. Or whoever they're talking to at dispatch is able to remotely change those lights.
Okay, so that's what I thought it was the second thing.
Okay, so somebody was just like, you're just a guy
there
on a
was just
computer.
A fucking guy on the computer, and he was just like, we need this one to be green.
I got it.
3, 2, 1, go. So apparently,
is that not it?
I know what it is now, and
okay, so
I was fucking clowned. So, look, next time you go through an intersection, there's this little thing. It looks like a little camera with a little like an upside down traffic light, and it's pointed at the thing, and it detects the traffic light, the emergency lights that they give off,
and that's what changes.
And then when that camera sees that, it flips that light to green, and then it resets the cycle, so that me sitting here fucking watching them cross over, you get
fucking
cucked, and then you've got to wait for another what is it, 80 seconds or something sometimes for the whole light cycle. But yeah, it's definitely sees their emergency lights coming, not a fucking guy on the thing. Because imagine how many fucking emergency vehicles there are driving around.
There's just
somebody,
like
such a fucking idiot when I said that.
Everyone would have to be assigned a emergency vehicle, essentially. Like, that would be their job. But
I would love that job.
You know what, though? So where we work, if there's an emergency, we have gates going in, and I had a sensor added on that detects sirens. So if there's an emergency, whoever the first responder is, they just have to flip their sirens, and it pops both the gates open. The problem with that was it was picking up sirens from the road because sensitivity was turned all the way up. So like someone would turn the siren on super far away, and then the gates have to get reset. So then they go up, and they're stuck in this like up position. Okay, so there's a sensor. I'm also stupid, I guess.
I'm an idiot.
How'd you find that out?
Trevor told me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so fuck me.
And then clown the shit out of you for it.
He clowned me for like 2 hours. I was like, I wasn't like married to the idea, but it was super plausible. It was the most plausible thing in my eyes. I didn't know why I didn't think there could be a fucking sensor there.
I always see fucking accidents in Philly, man. Like, people drive like maybe it's just that's the city I go to most, and city drivers
terrifies me driving in really city driving. Fuck that.
Speaking of Philadelphia, though, so this weekend, the Neshaminy Creek Brewing, they're hosting the second annual Hot Sauce Fest.
Yes,
so if you have $10 and you're in the Philadelphia region, that is an option.
Because then you could also see us. What's that date?
So that is August 17th.
$10.
$10. Time is 11. I think it's 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eric and I will be there for a good bit of the day. I don't know how long. I don't think we'll be there.
I'm not going to be there
till
7 p.m.
But we'll probably try to get there around. I would rather get there in the morning.
I'm going to be.
We will be there for a couple.
Waiting in line.
We'll be there for a couple hours, talking to people, handing out some stickers. We're going to be actually doing like little interviews on site. So if you're there and you want to talk to us, we will be there. They're going to have a podcast booth. There are a fuckload of vendors that are going to be there. Our buddy Chris, Captain Cook's Food's going to be there. That's actually the reason why we're going. And it also seems really cool, but that's why we know about it. And so it's hosted by Cast Iron Kyle and White House Station Sauce Company. It seems really I'm actually really excited for it. There's going to be food, live bands, hot sauce tasting. They're going to be selling hot sauces. And then it's a hot sauce competition. So I'm assuming whoever has the best hot sauce wins. But if you want to come and talk to us, we'll be there.
Me personally, I can't wait to burn my asshole off.
Oh yeah,
with hot sauce.
What is your hot, like, as an individual? How hot can you go?
I'm ordering chicken wings, right?
Yep.
And they say what hot is fantastic for me. That's perfect.
Hot is like,
because it gets me like a little. It's a little spicy. I mean, it's spicy enough for me to like, but it doesn't burn me. It doesn't hurt me.
So what about wings to go?
Mm-hmm.
They have extra hot, and I think that's the perfect. But it's hard to, if you don't have wings to go and you're listening. I would say it's a step above standard hot, right? Like, obviously that's the extra hot, but like it's not going to burn your mouth off.
I think I've done the
when
extra hot with
you start throwing in phrases like suicide, homicide, triple murder, death, I'm
Genocide.
good because you know what, dude. But the flavor goes away. And then it's like too hot. So like, are you just trying to prove a point at that?
You know what I think it is? Can we? I don't know if we could check this. The people that like genocide flavor hot sauce, aren't they like predisposed to like being like a psychopath or something?
They like that. Is it because they can't feel? Is that they don't feel emotion? So the heat is. I don't like. For me, I like heat. I do. I hate super hot things. I also hate a nice. I hate like a verde.
Me
like
too.
a salsa verde. I'm not big on that. But in terms of like, I'm excited because I'm going to go and just find something that I normally wouldn't get, and I'm going to purchase that. And then I'm going to try to kind of have an open mind and embrace a new type of hot sauce, right? And that's, I think, going into it with an open mind is kind of the look. Because I want to be able to I feel like I can handle a little bit more heat than you can, but I can't handle like super heat, and I wouldn't mind being able to. Apparently I used to work with somebody, and every day he would come back into the kitchen and he would put sriracha on a chip. And he would say, I saw this article, because at that point it was still articles, and if you do this every day for 3 years straight, you build up an immunity. And every day he would put a little bit more on a chip. And you come and you take a chip and you put a little dot. And then the dot would get bigger and then bigger and then bigger. I don't know if it actually works, but I guess building up a tolerance, like in theory,
makes sense.
That would work.
I think anybody can take this much sriracha on a chip, right? If the whole chip, but then like eventually you're going to get to a point where it's like the chip is just coated.
But I'll tell you what, I really like the taste of it. I
Sriracha?
think the taste is good.
I love sriracha. I got to add a little mayo to it to like kind of thin it out. But for me, the flavor of sriracha
it's good.
One of my favorite, like, you know, hey, here's spicy flavor coming at you.
And you also don't have to refrigerate it, which is also nice. You just leave it in a...
Wait, I'm pretty sure once you open sriracha, I think you're supposed to...
so. I don't think you do, man.
I think you're supposed to.
Can you peep that? Can you peep that?
Yeah. I was going to go downstairs and just grab my bottle.
And look at it? Okay. I have a problem with... You get a bottle of salad dressing. If it says refrigerate after opening, you need to refrigerate after opening.
Oh,
How many people?
Fuck me.
It's shelf stable, all like open
cool,
or not.
dry place.
Yep.
Fuck. Okay. Well, I keep mine in there.
But a lot of people don't refrigerate stuff that says refrigerate after opening. So I used to work with somebody. She would have salads, and she would have 8 bottles of salad dressing just sitting on her desk. A lot of that shit has like eggs and like egg yolk and some sort of dairy in there. You have to refrigerate something that says refrigerate after opening. That's not a recommendation. Like, that's like something that you have to do to avoid getting potentially sick.
You know what fucked me up? I didn't know you had to refrigerate soy sauce after opening.
Oh yeah.
Look at the fucking bottle. I had no idea.
Yep. So I always, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to throw it in the fridge anyway, just because whatever.
So my understanding is that vinegar-based hot sauces do not have to.
They do
like
not
if it's
have
mostly
to.
vinegar. But then there's hot sauces that you do have to.
But
Maybe
then
like
also, well, I was going to say restaurant-based ketchup for some reason doesn't have to be refrigerated. So it must be formulated differently.
I think that they just go.
I think it's a different formula. I think restaurant ketchup is a different formula than ketchup you buy from a store.
I think that they just wing
I don't
it.
think so, man. Nope, because that wouldn't fly with the health inspectors.
I think the health
100%.
inspector's just cool about it. They're just like,
I
that's
don't
cool.
think
Go
so,
ahead,
man.
guys.
I think
you let that ketchup.
Is there restaurant ketchup versus
like full shelf stable,
store,
doesn't
like
need to
consumer bought ketchup?
Do you think any of it has to be refrigerated? How about this? Here's my guess. Just from this conversation right here, I bet that no ketchup has to be refrigerated. They just say that to extend the life, but they go through it so quickly at the restaurants that
I don't know, man. I think it's a different formula.
Let me ask you this: do you keep your butter out?
Depends. So, if I have multiple sticks of butter, but I keep one out that's going to be used for like spreading on toast or like. But if I'm making, I don't know, mac and cheese, I'll just get the butter from the fridge and just cut.
Yeah.
So like if I'm using it to cook with, I'll use cold. But if I'm using it to like spread or like popcorn,
Give your
then
room temp
I leave
butter.
it out. So there's 2 sticks of butters always going.
But you know what they say: butter is not shelf stable, but you leave that out. I think,
Yeah.
but you use it quick enough.
I use it quick enough, but I don't think ketchup falls under that category. I really want to know now if there is restaurant ketchup versus
Me too.
regular ketchup.
Me too. Me too.
I mean, I don't care that much because I'm still going to use it. I do like, though, when you get the little ramekins of ketchup at a restaurant and it's nice and cold.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about cold plates at a restaurant?
Ew. I want to talk about. We can talk about cold plates, and we can talk about sauces at restaurants.
Okay,
Or
so-
fast food places.
Well, sauces are the best part of any place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a good sauce can make a shitty meal good.
I don't
or
like
at
when they
least
get, I
bearable.
don't like when they get stingy with the sauce. Like when I ask for a side of ranch, give it
You
to
get
me.
one.
Give me this. Give me this one. It's like this deep. Give me the whole thing. I love it.
They give you the little shallow guy. Do you remember Eric and I went to Eric and I went to McDonald's and we got like a 20-piece, a 30-piece nugget.
We shared the tailgate box.
We did.
Didn't we? Yeah.
And we started, or maybe I started requesting quantities. And the
said,
dude
"Can I
just
get
straight
3
rolled his
buffalo?"
fucking eyes.
Yeah. He straight up said, like
Yeah,
it was
and
his
it was
own
like-
personal stash of buffalo.
Dude, people act crazy when you ask for sauces, and don't be stingy. And some places they charge extra, and that's fine too, but just don't be stingy.
I want to know the reason behind the attitude because I'm sorry, you work for a multi-billion-dollar organization that pays you minimum wage and or whatever. I don't know how much they get paid.
Yeah.
And then you get upset when I ask for sauce to go with the food that I ordered and am paying for. Like, how dare you assume that I'll eat chicken nuggets without a sauce?
So envision you have a 10-piece nugget.
Mhm.
You open the bag up. There's you have chicken nuggets, fries, no sauce. I almost don't want the fucking meal. I'm gonna eat it. But I'm gonna be pissed off about it.
I'm gonna make my own sauce.
Just in the car, just no. But like, it's bullshit because chicken nuggets. I get nuggets because they become a vessel for a sauce. I don't get chicken nuggets because I necessarily want chicken nuggets. I want the sauce to dip into the nuggets.
Yep,
The
exactly.
nuggets into the sauce. You know.
Yep.
We went to Outback last week. First time I've ever been. I really wanted a fucking bloomin' onion.
How many bloomin' onions did you get?
Well, I had a free bloomin' onion. Like, I had to sign up and get a free, I had a free coupon. So I went in and I said that to the guy. I was like, look, I'm here. I really just want the bloomin' onion. But honestly, the food was really good. But I got a salad. I got a steak and I got a side salad. And I love when side salads come in really cold plates. Texas Roadhouse does it, and apparently Outback does it. But there's just something a little extra about your salad just being on a nice chilled plate.
When you said cold plate, I thought that you were like
Like a cold plate, like the food was cold.
Cold plate with like hot food on it.
Piping hot food. Oh, hell no. Most of the time, you're going to get a really hot plate with food that it starts to like congeal under the heating lamp.
Yeah, right.
You
That's
know?
why it's hot.
And
Probably. That's why most of the plates are probably hot because they've been sitting.
Oh,
Order
yeah.
up.
And they always tell you, oh, watch out, the plate's a little hot. And then most of the time, it's like, it's either like, oh, this is fine, or it's just hot as balls. And
Yeah,
it's just
if you
like,
see, if you see your server using a towel to carry that,
Ooh,
then it's hot because they got fingertips of
Oh yeah,
rock.
that's how like mine. Like we used to fuck with baked potatoes, so it just singed all the fucking feeling from our
Hmm.
fingers. But I saw something where it was like when you when you order the fajitas always make a scene, but then it's like when someone else ordered them and their fajitas made like more noise, and then you're just disappointed.
You've heard of the fajita effect, right? Where when one order of fajitas comes out, you should get ready because other people are going to go, "Oh, I want that."
And good fajitas,
Yeah.
fuck.
Do you ever call
But
them
fajitas,
fajitas?
fajitas, they take up the whole fucking table. So
Yeah, because then
the
I
dude
also
has
need
to
my
bring
thing
his
of
own. Like,
yeah, I need my tortillas over here. Then I get my beans and my rice and my salad.
always the salad that no one ever eats.
Yeah,
Keep it. Keep it. Give me
sure.
the sour cream, the cheese, and the protein, and I'm
Yeah.
good. You know?
Speaking of all this food, I'm kind of hungry. Tell me, make my order for me. I'm about to go to Friendly's.
Okay.
What should I get?
I have
And
really
don't say wait.
been
What's the
the
funniest thing I
clams.
could order from there? The
clams are
the fishamajig sandwich.
with a nice side of New England clam chowder.
Hey, I'm not going to try it, but good for them for sticking with what they want to serve.
But honestly, too, like you think the fish majig is no different than a filet of fish from McDonald's, just a deep fried. I always get so Jenna always gets the turkey super melt. I always get either the I don't know if they still have it like the Doritos smash burger
I think they
or
do.
the chicken strip salad is really fucking good.
Okay.
If you're feeling like that's it's not like a healthy salad, but
No.
it's good.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll probably do the chopped cheese. I think it's a chopped cheese Dorito
It is a chopped
thing.
cheese the Aki way.
Yeah. Hello, how can I help you? Hey, yo, Ak.
You should get the fucking
Let me get a
Friendly's
chopped cheese. The Aki way. I'm going to order it just like that from Friendly's, and they're going to look at me like,
They're just gonna throw a fucking cherry pop tart and some mozzarella sticks on that motherfucker, and then the bev is gonna be those fucking aloe vera drinks.
General Ak. I love that guy.
Me too, man. His shit just makes me happy. But that's what I would get. I also really like their loaded waffle fries.
Okay.
Like the sampler is good because you get the little mozzarella stick. They're actually like the little
sampler.
baby mozzarella sticks, the little baby cheeseburgers,
Bring it full circle. I love a sampler from like an appetizer sampler for the same reason why my first plate at a buffet is so varied because I want to try everything.
Appetizers are, to me, like sometimes the most exciting part of the meal. I love the entree, but
You
if you
remember
get
that one time we went to Two Fat Guys? What was it? You, me, Jenna, and Shay. We each ordered one appetizer, and then we
And
each
an
ordered
entree?
one entree. What the
and so
fuck?
the whole table was what there was like four, and we ate dick because like we were all trying to pick at these appetizers, and then the entrees we didn't actually we didn't kill. That was also years ago.
Really long
Now
time
we
ago.
couldn't even afford that
No.
in our lives.
Food costs
But
going up way too much.
you know what is affordable, and we're still waiting on ours. But our beard oil has officially dropped, and it is actually fairly inexpensive. Our collaboration with Jay's Beard Essentials dropped August 1st for the blend of the month, and so there is when this episode airs. Hopefully, it's still out. It's been selling quick, but they're a beard oil, a beard wash, a beard charge, which is a mixture of I'm in this process of currently pulling up the exact scent profile, but so the beard charge and then a beard butter. So the scent profile is black raspberry, watermelon, strawberry, teakwood, tobacco, vanilla, and more. It smells really good. We're waiting on our official bottle to come in. The bottle looks dope. It's been shipped to us.
Jay sent us the sampler though. When we
sample?
were first talking about it, and I can say I've smelled that. Amazing. I love the scent. I can't wait to get ours in.
I can't wait to get ours, and I actually ordered myself a cologne as well. By the time this airs, unfortunately, our giveaway will have concluded, but we did a giveaway, and we're going to start doing more giveaways in the future. We're kind of shifting how our merch is situated. I think we might start. We talked about possibly like housing inventory ourselves just a little bit and shipping it out, just so that way we can do giveaways for our merch, give out
have
mugs,
more control.
t-shirts, stickers, have more control. But if you're listening to this, Jay's Beard Essentials, and even if our stuff is sold out and gone, you may be able to hit him up and he may be able to help you out. But also, like, his other oils and colognes are all really solid. He's actually going to be coming on to this show later on at a we're trying to coordinate. We both have very hectic schedules. So the three of us, we all live different lives. So we're trying to coordinate a schedule, but we're going to have him on to kind of talk about that process too, because it was something that Eric and I have never done before, collaboration, but also a hygiene collaboration. So we're going to have him on. But yeah, so buy it if you haven't already. And also you can use code Daddies15, DADDIES 15, all caps. If you don't do it in all caps, it won't work, and that'll take 15% off your order.
All caps, like MF Doom. Did I tell you that before? Always spell MF Doom's name all caps.
All
also
caps. And then
also RIP.
It'll give you 15% off, and I think the oil is like $20 with the code, which is it'll last you a while, and it'll keep you even
in a beard my size. I have
so the oil is really good for your skin. Where I think the butters are more so for the actual hair. The oil really helps your skin and
that's good because I get it's not dandruff, but like dry flaky skin underneath. So like if I do this,
think the oil would really help that. You wouldn't need a butter. Like the butter would just make your shit look greasy. I use a butter at night, but I use the oil at night, in the morning, and at night. But I think with you, the oil would be great.
Good.
Cool. I'd probably try it.
Probably. I think I endorse this.
Yeah, right. Eric and I shot our first collab, advertisement, which was a very
it was funny.
Interesting.
It was.
And we fucked it up a lot, and it was we got more the more fun we had with it, the better it got. But holy shit, dude, the first takes were rough.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I tell you what, I just got a text from Shay. She said, "Are you almost done? I'm so hungry. I'm going to eat my arm." So.
All right. Well, let's do this thing.
I think I got to go get some friendlies, and I'm going to go get a fish-a-majig.
Enjoy it. See you all later.
Cool.